following program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.
Welcome to Gate City Chronicles. I'm Kevin Avard, your host, and today I am joined with Susan Miele. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Susan, you're basically volunteering in the city of Nashua.
Yes.
And you're kind of a financial advocate.
Yes.
You're helping people learn about how to use their money or wisely.
Yes,
Is that
and
it?
try to just give them some tools so that a lot of time you go out and you need a car and you just go out and buy a car. There's not a lot of homework behind it. You don't know where to go to get a loan. Mm-hmm. And I'm mostly targeting people that weren't taught this in school or don't remember it from school.
Right.
And they haven't maybe made a lot of purchases like that. So young people and just people that don't know about it, that they can go to their credit union and get a pre-approved before you go look for a car, mm-hmm. and that you can shop around and get interest rates, just to let them know that these are financial products and you should shop for them the same way you do anything else.
Now, you have a background working for the state and for the city.
Yes, yeah, I worked for the court system for about 10 years, and I've worked for the city off and on for about 10 years now too, getting old.
And so finances were a big part of that, people coming in with financial documents. And did you find on a regular basis that maybe some of the younger class didn't really have their act together?
More they didn't understand how things worked. So, and it doesn't really come up in daily life unless you need to go buy a car or unless that situation is happening to you. Or you've already used the credit card and now you're getting into some kind of trouble, small claims cases and landlord and tenant. They don't know what their rights are. They don't know where to go for any kind of information
and
or
who
support.
would know better than a city clerk?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I mean, you have, that's a lot of valuable
That's what I say all
information.
the time. You know, the government's there for everyone. And they're more than willing to help you and tell you where to go for information if that office doesn't know. But there's a lot of people, I think, that feel like the city isn't available to them, that it's maybe for richer people or older people, people that are in politics. They just don't feel like it's available. And I just feel like people should know that.
Are you still working for the city?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I work in the tax collector's office.
Tax collector.
Yes.
Hey,
Yeah.
Amen. Right?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, you're not the IRS or anything like that.
No.
So,
No, we're nice.
What got you interested in this? Are you just seeing people falling through the cracks over and over again, or?
Not really. I mostly my kids had grown up, moved away,
mm-hmm.
and I like to listen to Janelle Monáe a lot, and she put out an album, The Electric Lady, and on that was a song all about women in communities that make a difference and try to give back a little bit. So I said, geez, maybe that's a good idea, something that I could do. And I found a place in Lowell called Budget Buddies, and they met with low-income women and kind of taught them some budgeting skills and a lot of life skills, really, how to get a job, that kind of a thing, how to maybe buy a house sometime. A lot of people think you don't have money for a house, so they don't even attempt to try it, when really you're the exact people that should be buying a house. You're throwing all your money away on rent.
Right.
So all those things that you think are out of your realm, if you can't see it, you can't be it.
Right.
So just trying to bring it. But I didn't see anything like that in Nashua, so I thought I'd put on a couple workshops. I was able to find things through the National Endowment of Financial Literacy. And there's actually organizations, they have all the homework done for you, the PowerPoints, the things you pass out, the script to use. So what I did was trying to read through a lot of that. I did a lot of research on my own, going to the library and just taking out a bunch of books and just being on the internet every night and just try to get out the stuff that doesn't make sense. Only the stuff you can use, you know, and the stuff that you can remember.
Right.
You know, things.
Practical applications
Yes,
to what you do.
yes.
What would be one of the first pitfalls that you know, when somebody comes to you, what's generally one of the first things that you try to do is build a, obviously
You have
building
to
a
figure out where you are.
Right.
You have to sit down and make some kind of a list, even if it's a messy list. Sometimes it will upset you so much that you see how much you owe and get up and walk away from it and come back to it. You have to know where you are in your jungle to be able to get out. So you sit down, figure out where you are, who you owe. It's very important. How much interest you're paying for each one, because these are the tools that are going to help you get out.
So, say a young mother, she's not getting child support, and
Yep.
she's getting a little assistance from the state. She's got her rent, she's got her milk, she's got a little bit of help here.
Right.
You help her say, well, okay, listen, don't get the iPhone right now.
You're right, right.
You know, just put a little money aside right here, or this. Let's look at the bleeding and see if we can stop the hemorrhaging.
Right, yes. You do want to look for the spending leaks, but also that's kind of a misconception that you think like that people that don't have a lot of money, maybe they don't understand that, gee, you shouldn't buy new rims for your car, or you shouldn't. But there's also feelings and beliefs that people bring to the table about money. It kind of has to do with how you were raised. It's you know, if your family didn't have a lot of money, you tend to say when money comes in, when you get your income tax or there's some kind of pitfall, you should go out there and windfall, I'm sorry. You want to go out there and spend the money as fast as possible because it's going to be gone. And that's not what you should be doing
because
when
it's
you
gonna
get
be
money.
gone.
Exactly. You should, be making yourself a safety net of some kind. And, my parents and grandparents, they'd say, make sure you save your money, save your money. If you look at the rate of inflation and compare that to your savings, that's really not what you should be doing with your money now, because the dollar's not worth that. It's losing.
Right. You know, and I'm looking at, our economy right now. We just. The House and Senate just raised the gas tax,
Right.
23%, 28%, something like that.
Yeah.
You've got probably electricity and power is going to be going up because they're going to get rid of the coal plant.
Right.
And so that's going to be going up. If you look at the bread, it's shrinking in size. If you look at the
Yes.
boxes, they're shrinking in size.
Yes.
So, and food prices are going up. So I'm thinking about the seniors, and then of course their
Right.
oil, their gas, all their insurances. Everything's going up, just a little bit here, a little bit there, a little
Right.
bit there. After a while, wait a minute. I
And a
have
lot
no
of
money.
times you're not aware of that. It isn't until you go maybe to pour the cereal and you go, I thought this used to be bigger.
I got to go back.
You don't really realize that, they just took an ounce off,
Right.
and you're getting less than you used to get.
Right.
So,
And of course, you compile that with the new health care law. I mean,
right.
I mean,
There's-
nobody has any idea.
But you've got to take some kind of responsibility. That's kind of what I want to bring to the table as well, is these inner city, there's not a lot of grocery stores and healthy food. So the people are spending more money than they have to on junk food that only sugar and salt. It's only making you want more of that kind of food. It's an
Right.
addiction. So, if we were able to bring healthy, good food into the inner city, there's a lot of things like that I'd like to do. People, even just
Well,
when
like
you go in
farmers
the
markets
grocery,
or something right in town.
Right.
buy your
Nashua is
fresh-
very good about,
Right.
very proactive about bringing those things to the people, I think.
So you can consult with seniors as well.
Yes.
They're on basically the fixed budgets and stuff, and
Yeah.
and you can help them.
when you
Obviously,
go to
you would assume they would know by now what
Yes.
But there are
yeah.
things that are going on that, we have another show called Speak Up, and we have Kimberly Moran come in just to talk about things that you should know that's going on in the Capitol.
Right.
That either the media is not telling you or they put a spin on it.
Yes.
The bottom line is you've got to know what these legislators are doing
Absolutely.
because it affects your bottom line.
Well, a lot of people want to go vote for the president and the ones you see on TV, but the people that are in politics that affect you in your backyard, where your kid goes to school, that's the House, the people that are in the Board of Aldermen, your mayor. You do need to pay attention to those. They're not as fun as watching the president on TV. They don't have as many commercials,
Right.
but those are the issues that affect you every day, and you need to be aware of them.
Well, we're seeing towns like Guilford and Gilmington,
Yeah.
you're seeing these huge spikes in their property taxes because they're
Right.
going to be footing the bill for new additions to schools, and if you're not paying attention, it doesn't mean it's not going away.
Right, right.
And if your property taxes go up an extra $300, $400, $500 a month, and you're on a fixed income, or I mean a year, and you're on a fixed income, that's...
See, a lot of people that don't own property will say, well, that doesn't affect me. It does affect you. Your landlord is going to raise your rent.
Right.
And you know, that's when you're going in a grocery store, if you shop just from the edges, just that alone will save you money.
Instead of going into the middle aisles.
Instead of going in the middle.
Exactly.
All the food that you need is right around the edge. You go to the milk, you go to the meat, you go to the veggies, you get out. That's, you know, and if you go in the middle, that's on you, you know. And it's the same thing with property. I mean, if you don't have, like I said, if you can't see it, you can't be it. You need to maybe buy a duplex, and you live on one side and your sibling lives on the other. And you both put your money together, and then you are able to pay the property taxes. There's things like that you can do. Like you're talking about the single mother. Find another person, like an elderly person that needs a ride to the store.
Right.
Maybe she'll give you $5 rather than her paying $10 for a cab. And now you have somebody maybe to watch your kids so that you can, you know, only buy what you want instead of what the kids telling you to get. They just don't want to match up those people that have the same needs.
And so, how do people get in touch with you? Do you have a specific place where you go?
I don't have a website yet, no. I've just been having them email me through susanmiele@gmail.com.
And it doesn't cost them anything?
No, not
You're
at
not
all,
charging?
no.
And you're doing this because this is a way for you to be a bright star in the community?
Yeah, well, and I feel like all these things are interactive, kind of, you know.
Yeah. Well, if you're helping out the community, you're making it a good place for yourself as well as the other people that are in part of it. So you're making, it's like cutting the lawn. You know, you cut the lawn, it looks better.
For everybody,
you help
that's
somebody
right.
up the road with their finances, you know that they're not going to be, you know, destitute and hanging out at the corner with a little sign saying, I need help.
Yes.
You know, at the mall or something like that.
Right.
And that's definitely needed. And I just, every time I get on the show, I keep saying, I love this town.
Oh, yeah. Nashua, I knew from working at the health department, I really saw so many of the like priests and what else is there, like the United Way and Gate City, all these people coming together, trying to bring comprehensive services to the city. Now they have that new 211 that you can call up that's kind of like a 911 for social services. And people can call up and just dial 211 and say, you know, I want this. What place does that? And they can give you a list of, oh, we have supplemental food, we have groceries, we have, and like I said about the government, anytime you want to know, well, who does that? Call up and just say, what do you guys do in that city clerk's office? Is it just birth certificates? They'd be more than happy to say, no, we have all, you know, all this information. This is how voting works. And that's another thing I mentioned in the workshop. You know, a lot of people say, well, I don't think we should need an ID to vote, or whatever those issues are. I'm like, that's fine. Make yourself a lemonade and sit in the backyard with your friends and discuss it. But meanwhile, there's people voting on things that concern you. Get yourself an ID and go vote.
Well, but this last election...
Be part of the system in order to change it.
It seemed like this last election, people didn't even need that.
Right, yeah.
People were just walking in, and you're seeing mass plates come in.
Well, most people aren't even walking in. They're just, you know, the young kids, maybe when you're in college, you have that passion, and you feel like you can make a difference. And after a while, real life gets in the way, and a lot of people don't...
Take 10 minutes and go vote.
Yes.
Take 10 minutes and go vote.
Yeah, and if you say, well, I can't register during the day, I work, they have times where they hold registrations at night. They hold registrations right at the voting booth.
You should almost have your own TV show here, you know that?
Oh, thank you.
Really? Well, you know, ask the city clerk. She knows.
Yeah.
You know, because you have a wealth of information, and obviously the background that you have, and you've probably seen every scenario in life come before the office, you know, at some point or other. So how do people reach you?
Just the email right now is
Which
all
is?
I have, the susanmiele@gmail.com.
And you'll converse through the email, or will you meet them? Will you go to their house? Do you meet at the library?
I even asked people if, you know, they'd be willing to have me over their house and invite a couple friends over, and we can, that way I can hit more people at a time.
Right.
And City Hall, they have the free rental of the auditorium, so I can have things there because it's handicap accessible, and on the
free?
bus line, and oh yes, yeah. See, these are all the things. No, anybody can rent it out. If you're going to serve food there, then you may need permits that the city clerk and public health can help you get. But other than that, if you don't serve food there, as long as it's available.
So you can either have an AA meeting, you can have
Yes,
any
whatever
type
you
of
want.
meetings there, church meetings?
Yes, yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, as long as it's open to everyone.
Right.
Yeah, that's the only criteria, yeah.
Wow, that's interesting.
That's another reason why when I had the workshop, I tried to keep it kind of broad because I wanted to meet that, that everyone can come.
Right. Well,
know.
that's great, though, and
Yeah.
it's wonderful that you're volunteering this way. And again, so they can get, if you say your email one more time.
SUSAN.
SUSAN.
MIELE.
MIELE.
Yeah, at gmail.com.
At gmail.com. And you'll go to them where they can come to you and
Yes,
bring a friend.
absolutely. And I'll be advertising in the paper shortly through the Patch and NewHampshire.com and the Telegraph put in under classes, free events.
Now, how about bilingual or people of Spanish speaking? Or
I haven't had anyone yet that could translate for me, but I do work with a couple ladies that know how to speak Spanish, so they don't know yet, but I will be approaching them and asking them to help me.
Nice. It's a beautiful
know,
effort. It's a wonderful thing. Hopefully we can get some other volunteers to
Thank you.
help
Yes,
you out.
I work with people that have offered to help the deputy tax collector that knows a lot about how taxes work and a lot about buying houses and just the co-workers that I have that I work around a lot of knowledgeable people that could bring a lot to the table. So.
Well, if you have time to come on the show at another time, we could talk about other issues, maybe that
Sure.
that are like hot spots with the people aren't getting a certain message, or there's a certain law
Sure.
that's out there, or there's information that you're seeing. People are falling through the cracks. Come on the show and talk about it.
Oh,
We'd love to have
Thank you.
Well, thank you for
I
coming on
will.
Gate City Chronicles.
Okay, thank you.
All right. And well, that's it for now. Thank you for watching Gate City Chronicles. But if you would like somebody to advocate you, maybe you don't know how to. You're finding that you're at the end of the month and you have no money, and you kind of need somebody to give you a little direction. Maybe Susan's somebody that you can talk to, and maybe she can point you in the right direction. Or if you have issues at City Hall that you need to be talking about, she's the one. Yikes. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching Gate City Chronicles. Thank you for watching Gate City Chronicles, and we want to thank our sponsor, Avard Dean of Clean, the carpet cleaner in Nashua. You can reach him at 603-630-1743. And if you would like some more information about Gate City Chronicles or want to be a guest, contact me at gatecitychronicles@gmail.com. Until next week, thanks for watching.
The preceding program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.